Welcome to another episode of FemFlex Friday. I'm Whitney Jones here with my co-host Linda Murray. And Linda, today's episode is pretty epic because we have two powerhouse boss babes who are blazing the trail in the fitness industry. They have incredible stories, and we got to introduce you both. We have Alexa Stimp, who is the owner of The Shoe Fairy, and Margaret Chin, who is the owner of Toxic Angelz Bikinis. Welcome, ladies. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Tons of questions for you guys. And first and foremost, we need to learn more about you guys. So Alexa, let's start with you. I know you guys both actually were bikini competitors at one point, and we don't want to assume, but is that kind of what led you into going, hey, I see a need for something, I'm gonna start a business. So we wanna hear your story and your background. So Alexa, share a little bit about it.
Yeah, so in 2015, I was 23 years old at the time, and I graduated, I was working a full-time job, sitting in a cubicle at a desk all day, and that's when I got into bikini competitions. So I had no passion for my job at the time, and all of my passion and energy went into bodybuilding and fitness and prepping and all of that. So at that time is when I was never like a born entrepreneur, but when I was prepping was when my mindset started shifting, and I started realizing, wow, I could do things I never thought I could do before. And I just started changing as a person. And I realized that what I was doing all day at work had zero fulfillment for me. And I wanted to create something in this industry that I loved. But then I was like, I don't want to be like everyone else, doing what everyone else is doing. What am I going to do? So I sat on that idea for months, and I mean months. And one day I'm sitting at my desk, I'm scrolling, and I'm seeing, everyone posts their stage shots. They tag bikini, hair, tan, makeup, jewelry. And that's when it clicked. At the time, in 2015, there was no one known for shoes on social media.
Yeah.
Very good.
I got mine off of Amazon. It was Amazon or the Exotic website. And that's when I realized our customers in this industry are on Instagram and social media, and there was no one dominating that space for shoes. And I was like, boom, light bulb, The Shoe Fairy, that's me.
Love it.
Born.
That's pretty interesting. And, very creative in the aspect of trying to analyze where's something missing? Because you're right.
Right.
When I first started, I was doing Amazon or going to literally local stripper stores to get my shoes, because that's the only place you could find those fancy clear heels. But yeah, that takes a little bit of research and creativity to go, I love this industry, where am I gonna find my niche?
Yep, and recognizing that there was a need in that space.
Yeah.
So that was really impressive. And I love your name, The Shoe Fairy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Margaret, share a little bit about your background and how you got started.
Okay, so I didn't go to school for this. So it started, I actually was a dental assistant for 10 years. And then while I was getting into the hygiene program, there was a long wait. I started making bikinis, and I self-taught myself. And I spent many, many hours trying to perfect the perfect fit. I wanted to create something that everyone's going to stand out in, high quality, fits like a glove, and just be amazing. So at that, when I first started my business, I actually got into the hygiene program, and I went to school for a month, and I was like, I could do this, get my degree, and then focus on my business. But I had to make a decision to go to school or to pursue my dreams. And I went to pursue my dreams. I gave up school, even though it was the safe route, but I took that risk, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's so amazing just getting to create these custom suits and have the ladies rock them on stage. So
I love it. Yeah, and you get to see your creativity on stage on multiple different bodies. And both of you guys, you're making an impact on how they place, because truth be told, again, at the pro level, those details matter. If the shoes are clunky and they don't fit and they're sometimes the way they are worn, they
Yeah.
can make your legs look stocky. They can change the shape of your quads if you have too much of a lift on the front. Bikini cut, oh my gosh.
And I look at everything when the athletes walk out on stage.
Yeah.
I'm looking at everything. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
her shoes are walking her. She
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
or wow. So, Margaret, with the bikinis, so do you make bikinis? Is it just for bikini competitors, or do you also do figure?
I do wellness, figure, physique, and fitness.
Wow.
So guess what? She did my fitness routine costume last year, and I had kind of reached out just from friends of friends and said, hey, have you seen this? I love this design. And she's like, yeah, let's work together. And I'm like, oh, really? You do fitness competition? She's like, let's do it. And it was one of my most favorite costumes ever.
Oh my God.
So she did your costume.
She did my costume.
So I do.
And never met in person, nothing. She's like, send me some measurements. I'm like, this girl's magic.
I always have a question in regards to that, because when I watch all the athletes, and like I said, I watch all the details. And like, for example, in fitness, I mean, you have to have you have to get your suit that you wear for the physique round, and then your costume. And then when you're on there and you're doing the splits and doing all these different things, I'm always thinking like,
no
like, are you
malfunction.
worried like too much? So do you have to like make adjustments ever? Because you
with
go,
Margaret,
when I
did
do
not have
this
to.
move right here.
It was pretty crazy. And that's when you know you're
was
working
good.
with a true expert,
Right.
because we never met in person. She did not do my measure. She said, oh, send me XYZ. And I thought, okay, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not going to worry about it. This is your specialty. I got it, and it literally fit like a glove. It was everything I love. But she took into consideration everything. Like, I had a halter type top, so we made it higher so nothing was coming out as I'm flipping around, and covered all the bases.
love it.
Because you're right, you do not want a wardrobe malfunction.
Okay.
Mid routine,
very good.
it really,
No way.
even on stage for bikini athletes, figure athletes, that can totally throw you off your game when you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it happens though.
It
sadly.
happens, yeah.
It does happen.
Oh
And
my God,
Alexa.
that would be horrible.
Alexa, I have a question in regards to the shoes, because I learned this is that with the shoe, as far as it like being clear or there being a strap, like some women shouldn't have straps and some should, because it makes their legs longer or shorter. Is that the case? Can you expound on that whole thing with the shoe selection?
So all of the straps, there's two straps. There's the foot strap and the ankle strap. All of the straps have to be clear. They can have embellishments like rhinestones on them, but it has to be clear. I personally love the look of a mule, which means no ankle strap, because it's just smooth. Your leg is elongated. When you have the ankle strap, I personally do feel like it's not as smooth looking.
Yeah.
It kind of cuts off the ankle to the leg. It's not that big of a deal though, because honestly, I would have to say 90% of our sales opt for an ankle strap.
Okay.
It's more secure. I feel like
that's what I feel like the
people say.
reason why
I
they
like
do it.
without the strap, but most of the clients
I like it without
say,
the strap too.
Yeah.
I like the look of it, but most clients say, I feel more secure with the strap. Great. If that gives you more confidence on stage, rock it.
Then so be it. I mean, because that was such an issue, previously, all of the mules that were on the market had a foot strap that didn't have much coverage. So when you're walking, it feels like your heel clicks in the back, kind of like when you have a sandal.
Right.
So what I did with my Olympian line, because I designed my own line of heels that I'm expanding on a lot right now, so we have a lot of good things in store for everyone. What I decided to do was create a foot strap that comes up higher on the foot, so that your foot feels more secure, and it doesn't have that like flip-flop effect where your heel is clicking in the back. It kind of really holds your foot in. So that was my solution to bringing a mule to the market that has more security of holding your foot in. But regardless, the customers still, they literally just want the ankle strap.
Yeah.
We think of it as like training wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
I love it.
And I have to brag on the Shoe Fairy and Alexa here for a minute, because you guys, I know you've got so many incredible things coming out, which we definitely have to have you guys spill some beans on that.
Yeah.
But she released the Olympia line, and I wear the Shoe Fairy shoes. I wear the fun slides too. So it's not just heels. They have a lot of fun options. The fur, the glam, the glitz, you got
nice.
bling on everything. But they are comfortable, and it's ridiculous. The padding, I have broken my ankles way too many times, so walking in those heels kill me. And I can pose and walk around and no issues, because that padding that you guys have launched in the new line is literally night and day. So have to brag, got to give you a plug because they are incredible.
Wow.
Thank you. And it's the plastic. The plastic is really soft and flexible. That makes a huge difference, because something I noticed was a problem was the existing heels on the market, the plastic is rock hard.
Yes.
Put your foot in that, especially if you have a wider foot, forget it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's when I decided I was going to start manufacturing and designing my own line.
Which was smart. It obviously has done very well for you.
I mean, that's great.
Yes. Very, very creative. So
Thank you.
now we have to ask. So this segment is obviously about female entrepreneurs. So when you guys started your business, I love the story of how you both kind of came upon this going, well, this wasn't really the direction I thought, but I want to follow my dreams, which is what the entrepreneur spirit is all about. But that doesn't come without risks and obstacles. And more importantly, as a female entrepreneur, Alexa, let's start with you. Did you encounter any problems in, say, the first year or two that were major struggles, as well as anything that was more specific to being a hard issue as a female entrepreneur?
Yeah, so this is actually my favorite story. When I first started this business, the first thing I needed to figure out was, where am I going to get my heels from, the inventory? You can't start the shoe business without the shoes.
Yeah.
So that's when I go to Google. I try different things, try to see where to get these shoes from. And it turns out there's not many manufacturers at all that create these shoes. There's like a monopoly on it. So I call up the wholesale company. I try to make an account, and I was a 23-year-old female. So I'm sure I was a psychology major, zero business experience, zero idea of what I was doing. So I'm sure that may have been portrayed on the phone, which is what leads into the story. The account rep that I have now is who I spoke to, and I told him my story, how I was opening up this business and I need the inventory, and he pretty much wanted to shut me down from the beginning. He told me that, we can't do that. We can't give you an account because you need to have a physical brick and mortar store. And his tone changed. And he said, plus you need a minimum of $500 as your order. So he judged me off the bat. And
Wow.
I knew that's false. There's no way that you need a brick and mortar store, because all of these companies that sell your shoes are online companies. And I could tell by his tone, he didn't think I could meet the $500 minimum. That's what it came down to. So I said to him, that's such a shame, because my first order I need to place right now is going to be for $3,000. And then his tone switched. Let me talk to my manager. Let me see if we can make an exception for just this one time.
Really?
And I knew that he just judged me from the bat and didn't want to deal with it. And that's my story I tell to pretty much everyone. Because
And you're still working with this one?
Yeah, so now the tables have turned since I asked him.
I love it. You're like, now I've got
crazy.
control, buddy.
So now since they saw that I'm manufacturing and creating my own line, there's some conflict now, because now they're viewing me as competition. So I went from being someone he didn't want to give an account to someone who was one of his top accounts, to someone that now they feel threatened by. And it's been a crazy ride with them.
Hey, I love it.
I love it too.
There's always a level of competition to everything, right? So
I love it.
keeps them on their toes too. You're just challenging them. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, have our sponsors come in, give them some love, and we'll be right back more, totally talking about the ins and outs of being a badass female entrepreneur. And we are back with more stories from both of our female entrepreneurs, Alexa Stimp with the Shoe Fairy and Margaret Chin with Toxic Angel Bikinis. Now, Alexa, you just told us about your story of going from not having a account manager who wanted to work with you, then being the top account that he had, and now being his competitor. So pretty soon you're going to be having him to buy out his company, correct? That's the next goal.
Who knows?
That's it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yes.
Now, Margaret, we want to hear from you regarding some of the challenges that you faced in year, say, 1 or 2 as you launched your company.
Well, I had no money. So when I first started, I actually got laid off from my job as a dental assistant at that time. So I had no money to invest in this business, and I knew that I needed money. So every sale that I did, I put back into my business. And at that time, I was actually living in an office building with no shower or no kitchen or anything. And they didn't know that I was living there. So I actually had to use, like, if I had to use the bathroom, I had to go in the hallway in the middle of the night. It's like a community bathroom. And then I would have to lock my office in case, there was a creeper or anything. So every sale I re-put back into the business, and I lived off food stamps. I don't know, at that time, I didn't ask my parents for help or anything. I just wanted to do it on my own. And when I first started, I just reached out to, a bunch of people, see if they wanted to work with me. And it was hard in the beginning because there were already a few other bikini companies that have been, out there for a really long time. So it was hard to, get my in. But now I feel like, more of them are working with me now. So it makes me happy.
I love it. I mean, that's the entrepreneur spirit, though. Really having that passion and drive and making no excuses. The fact that you both said, okay, well, we're coming in. You both got into industries and in businesses that you didn't have this background of experience and knowledge, but you paved the trail for yourselves. You found out, you did the research, and that's what really kind of makes it enjoyable when you start seeing that success. You're like, wow, I really did it. And self-taught. I mean, so you had no experience with sewing?
Experience. Maybe just a little bit, but I didn't know how to use like the different machines, the different settings, or constructing a bikini. I watched videos, I put it all together, and then, had to make adjustments. I remember practicing on my friend's kitchen counter, and she was just like, just do it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. I have no choice. I'm going to take the risk, and I felt like a mad, scientist or something.
I love it.
Have to protect, and then I make it. I'm like, I just need to tweak it a little bit and then go again. And I just but finally, I got the perfect fit, and I have fits for different body types and
very good.
all that. So you guys,
you're working with some amazing physiques in our industry. So do you love working in the fitness industry? What about working with some of the professional athletes, amateur athletes because you guys, you started as competitors. Let's start with Alexa.
I love that I once was my customer. I think that's what really brings so much heart into this business, is that I was in those shoes and I went through all of that myself. So it makes you connect with your customer on a completely different level.
Right.
Same thing with sponsoring athletes. You can connect with those people because you too went through it. And I don't compete anymore. After I started the business, I did 2 preps that I actually quit because it got to the point where at that time I was the only one running the business. I had no employees, no help. So it was like, do I do cardio or do I try and build this business?
Right.
I quit 2 other preps and I haven't competed since. So it's kind of like, even though I'm not competing, I still love the sport and I get to partake in all the fun parts.
You get to live vicariously through them. As they're on stage, you're like, oh, that's me. You can choose the body type you want to be and the look. That's an amazing approach, actually.
Yes.
It keeps me connected with the sport and the industry, all of the people, without having to do it. And another thing that I absolutely love is I feel like it's such a good community. Since it's a different sport and a niche industry, a lot of people don't understand it. So everyone that's in, all the athletes that are in that industry, just form this tight community. So all of my followers and customers, everyone associated with the Shoe Fairy have just formed such an amazing bond and community that I don't know, it's great because I'm not competing anymore, but I'm still so connected with everything.
Yeah, and then the beauty of it is too, like 20, 30, 40 years from now, like you'll still be like you. I mean, of course, you will have just totally, completely evolved. It'll be so it never ends. You get to still be a part of it, and that's the part that's really great because I know how I feel. 40 years ago, and now I'm still a part of this, and I get to see these athletes and where the sports evolved, and I just feel really good. I'm like, I did that. So now let's go to you, Margaret.
Yeah, no, I totally feel like this. I feel like all this industry is so amazing, and I've met so many people that I feel like I see everyone in this industry more than I see my friends, and I love being a part of it. And again, I competed. My last show was, I think, 2018, and before that, I competed 2010, 11, and 12. I did 6 shows. So I know what it's like to be a bikini competitor, and just being able to walk them through this process. Like, sometimes I'm the first person that they see is building their suit, and them trusting me to make sure that they have a good experience is amazing.
And you guys do a great job. Like I said, I have to say I've been so fortunate enough to work with both of them, both of their companies, their products, and they're superior, which is proof as to why you guys have excelled so much in this industry and created a name. It's not like you've been around for 20 years, and it can be a saturated market. You're trying to position yourself amongst all the competitors, but how do you stay relevant? How do you become the option? But it's not just your business, and it's not just the quality of product. I truly believe the person behind the brand, which is both of you, helps those people go, oh yeah, I want to work with the Shoe Fairy. I want to work with Toxic Angel bikinis. And your customers are always so happy. So they do the selling for you, for sure.
Yeah, right.
And now I just have to ask a question real quick too, because there's always funny stories, So you got to think and share of at least one. It could be silly, it could be fun, some example that has happened maybe to a competitor on stage or in building your product. Give us some tidbits of something that kind of maybe went wrong and you found a way to fix it, or something hilarious. So Alexa, let's start with you.
Well, I'm trying to think of a specific story, but what popped into my head first, what's so funny with my business is, you guys, I have a plethora of feet pics.
Of what? Of feet pics?
Oh, the feet fetish people
Oh, that's
will
right.
love you.
Yes, feet pics. That's funny.
So we encourage it though, because these shoes are hard to fit and size. It's a plastic upper. It's not your basic shoe. And a lot of them have a tall 5-inch heel. People are not used to wearing these shoes, point blank.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people are unsure if they fit correctly or if they need to size up or size down. So every day we get DMs. We have a texting service. It comes through via text, via email. And people are saying, hi, I just got my shoes. I don't know if I need to size up, or I don't know if I need to size down. What should I do? And that's all it says. How the heck am I supposed to answer that? I need to see your foot in it.
Yeah.
So we have to get feet pics all the time.
That's funny.
You could probably sell those for top dollars, because I know on my
Yes.
DMs how many messages I get. Hey, I'll pay you for a photo of your feet.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the men
that
love
seems
feet
so
in
bizarre.
this industry. It's
I don't
really
know.
bizarre.
I'll send the DMs your way, Alexa.
Okay.
She has way more pretty feet pics, and it's not just one person. You can get hundreds.
Oh my God,
That's funny.
I have gotten so many feet pictures, and so the best was every year we do something called an Angelz search, and it's this big athlete search with a lot of prizes. This year we did a virtual show for it. It's a lot of fun. So people have to apply, and pretty much there's different rounds. So we need to know, why should you be passed in the next round? So I'm going through it with my employees this past Angelz search. We open up someone's application, and they can attach stage photos, pictures of themselves, whatever. So we have an attachment with application. We open it, and it's a video that has a furry rug, a little sled decoration, and someone's foot petting the sled with the furry rug. And
I love it.
all of us in the office, our jaws just dropped. that we were all silent. We had to replay it, and we'd go, "What did I just?"
What are we
What was
looking at
that?
here? I love it. Now, Margaret, what funny stories do you have for us?
I don't know. I guess I can't think of one that comes into mind, but lately, I've been getting clients like messaging me, not a lot, but oh my gosh, I got my top, it doesn't fit, what do I do? And I'm like, okay, send me a picture. And they literally, here, I'll show you since I have if I can get this over my head. So
I love
they
it.
literally have their top like this. And they're like, it doesn't fit my boob, it doesn't cover my cleavage, what do I do? I'm like, honey, you just gotta go
Just
like
pull
this
it.
and pull them to the center.
Right.
And they're like,
Awesome.
oh. I'm like,
Something that you would think is pretty common sense, but you know, maybe it's prep brain. Maybe they
Yes.
just don't have those calories to fuel those brain cells.
Yes.
So at least you sound like you're patient.
That is usually the case.
Gotta be patient.
yeah. So it's just
Wow.
funny. I'm like, it fits, don't worry.
Yes, you're gonna be good, girl. Now we have to know what is the meaning behind both of the business names that you
Yes.
guys came up with. So, because they're very unique. I love both of the names. They're very eye-catching, they make you stand out. So the Shoe Fairy, how did that come about?
I wish I had a cool story for this because I get asked this all the time.
Well, you gotta make
When
one
I-
up then.
You know, well, the real story is I told you guys how I was trying to think for months of a business in the industry, and then one day it clicked. Ironically, it clicked and came to me right after my grandfather passed, and I was very, very close with him. So while he was on hospice was during this time when I was competing, while I was having these thoughts. And right after he passed is when I had that whole light bulb thing. So, like,
Wow.
I thought of the name at once, the business concept, the site. I took a piece of paper, I drew the site out on, like, everything got handed to me. And I always say, I swear that it was just my grandpa just said, here, gave me the idea and everything, because normally it's very hard to think of a business name.
Sure.
A lot of
Right.
people get stuck with that.
Yeah.
And for
Hard.
some reason, it was just the Shoe Fairy right off the bat. I knew it. So I
Wow.
always say, you know what? Thank you, Grandpa.
I thought you said it wasn't a great story, because that's a pretty amazing
Yeah,
story.
it is
Yeah.
an amazing story.
I think that's
It's an
awesome.
amazing story.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I
love
love
it
it.
too.
Now, Margaret, what about Toxic Angel bikinis?
So I'm always kind of like an edgy girl. Like I ride a motorcycle.
Ooh, there you
Out or
go.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
So I like the name like Toxic. And then I'm like, I need something else added to it. So it's like Toxic Angels. So it's like bad but innocent kind of
Ooh,
vibe.
I like
Right.
That's cute.
That's
Right.
like where I got that.
I like
Yeah.
it. Then
Yeah.
you appeal to everyone. You get the edgy,
Yeah.
like
Naughty
rowdy
and
girls.
nice. Naughty and
You get
nice.
the innocent, sweet little
Yes.
angels. I don't know anything about that. Do you? Because I'm definitely on
No.
the rowdy devil side.
No.
I don't know any other way.
No. Wow.
That's awesome. Great names, though.
Great names. So, guys, what's your most favorite thing about being a business owner? What's your favorite thing? Let's start. We'll start with you. We'll start with you, Margaret.
I don't know. I guess I can't really think right now.
Yeah, you like the
I guess
independence, time. You're free. You're your own boss.
Yeah, I guess being my own boss and just like making my visions come to life. And like I have a whole team that, works with me. So if I have like a vision, then I delegate and then they put it into action and then I see it on someone. Just is really rewarding, and I never thought that I would actually be here because again, like I self-taught and I was going into the medical field.
Wow.
But yeah, it's very rewarding to see and like seeing these clients come in, right, like as they start their prep, and some of them are like just like really scared and like nervous, and they don't want to take their clothes off. I'm like, honey,
Right.
you got to take your clothes off.
Right, you have to.
Right. And
It's
then
part
when
of
they
getting
come
fitted
back,
for a suit.
when they come back, their whole look and their energy is like transformed, and they put on their suit and they're just so happy, and it's really rewarding.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Alexa, how about you?
I'm just a visionary and a creator and a leader. So I like my part in this business is I actually don't like business.
Yeah.
I don't like the business aspect of it, to be quite honest. So that's the type of stuff that I need a bookkeeper, I need someone for the payroll, I need someone for the accounting, and all. I don't like any of that. Yeah. But for me, I'm a big picture creator, visionary, and I like doing all of that stuff. So I like to come up with all of this and then come up with the plans and lead the way and create. So I can't, like, now that as my business has been evolving and I've gone this direction in life, I can never, ever go back because I like this. I like the space to be able to create whatever I want.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I have just such control.
Yeah, you're a creator.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what you both are. That's what's awesome. So we're going to take a break, and we will be back
Yep,
to
we've got some
explore-
more questions.
Yeah, a lot more questions for you ladies. All right, and we are back. Ladies, here's a question. I mean, knowing the work and you're a creator and you're doing this and it's your passion. I'm going to point this question first to Margaret. Being of Asian descent, how did your parents, because I know how my mom, when I told my mother that I wanted to be a professional bodybuilder, and here it is, I have my college degree, I'm supposed to go to law school. She's like, you lost your mind. Are you talking about you want to train people? No, you're the first to graduate from school, and now you're talking about being a personal trainer. So how does your family feel with this career choice?
So at first they were like, oh, you know, you got to go to school, you got to get a degree. My parents were so strict. They were so strict, they wouldn't even let me out of the house growing up, and I had to go to school. So they embedded that I, had to go to school. I had to get a degree. I had to go. I had to do it. And so that's why I did it. But after my dad seeing that I was succeeding and seeing my drive for this, and I was much happier, now that they have accepted it and they're actually really supportive about it. So yeah, it's like totally different.
Yeah, and as long as you have that support now, I mean, there's always those obstacles and you take that big risk. But when you feel like I'm doing everything for the right reason, you have the passion, you have to just stay focused in your own zone and not let anyone throw you off the rails to say you can't do it. Because let's be honest, that's what everyone, whenever you have a big picture dream, people are like, yeah, right. They want to see you fail.
Right.
So I love that it's like, give me a chance, I will prove you all wrong, and then you can jump on board and support me and I'll accept you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it the same for you, Alexa? What kind of support or lack of support did you encounter?
You know what? Somewhat different. So I got my degree, I got a bachelor's in psychology. I had a full-time job lined up. Then I was there for about a year, got an even better job, worked with a really, really great company that a lot of people retire with. If you stick with that company and you move up the ladder, like, you are good to go. It's quote unquote safe.
Yes.
But when I started this business, I did both. I have a lot of student loans and a lot of bills. I couldn't actually just quit my job. So I did both. I worked 6:30 to 3 at that job. And then I worked on this at night and then even at my job. And I did 3 months, I think, doing both. And then I put my 2 weeks in. So each month my sales were going up. They were going up. And I thought to myself, imagine if I had 24 hours to myself to put into this. So I got to the point where I was just so exhausted that I had no choice, that I made the decision. I remember my mom, she's a worrier. She was pretty worried, but I said, listen, like, they loved me at that job. If I need to go back, I'm sure I can get my job back, but I'm going to do this. So my parents, they were pretty supportive, my whole family. I think I felt more worried about my friends and other people that I never really talked about the business. I didn't share it on my Instagram for over 2 years.
Wow.
I don't know. I had like this so much shyness around it that I just didn't want to share it with people. I don't know if I thought I'd be judged or what. I just didn't. I don't know. So it actually took a while for me to start saying, hey, I own this business. And I think
just
that
grinding
it's funny.
in silence, you know?
Yeah.
I remember talking to you, Alexa, though. Remember when I called you? I was like, just do it, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so shy about it. And the funny thing is, I think that, I'm sure a lot of people can actually agree with this, I get more support from people that I barely know than my close friends.
Yep.
Right.
Do you know, have you ever thought of that or noticed that,
Absolutely.
Margaret?
I feel like that too.
I feel like there is a level of envy, though. You know, when you're actually doing what your heart desires and you're going after your dreams and your passion, not everyone is brave enough to do that. And so they kind of want to bring you down to their level and be like, oh, they'll point out all the reasons why you're going to fail or how hard it's going to be. So they want to make you, and they're being the realist. And you're like, well, no, but what if everything does work out?
Yeah.
But I truly feel it's a fear of themselves and just envy where they don't yet really want to see you succeed because they're looking at themselves and maybe what they have not
And
yet
it makes them
accomplished.
uncomfortable, I think. I mean, they just want, like, don't rock the boat.
Just be safe.
Be safe.
Boring.
You know, be safe and boring. Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Which actually, I want to ask now because owning your own business is far from rainbows and butterflies all the time. I mean, there's times I'm just wanting to tear my hair out, but having a shaved bald head is not cute for women, so I don't. But there are some struggles with being a business owner. So Alexa, start us out. What are some of your least favorite things of being a business owner?
Well, I mean, perfect timing. These past 2 months or so have been a real struggle for me, like every day for 2.5 months straight. To be quite honest, I am super burnt out right now, and I've been running burnt out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because when you own a business and a small business at that, and you haven't grown out a huge team, you can't rely on anyone else to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out. You have to get it done. So a lot of times you're wearing a million hats and there's a lot of weight on your shoulders. So navigating through those growing pains and scaling when you don't really know what you're doing, you're just figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I mean, this is really a loaded question because it comes down to so many different things. But I think the hardest thing is that when you're trying to figure it out and delegate and grow a team, before you've gotten to that point where you have so much to delegate to, when you still have that load on your shoulders and you're burnt out and you're tired and you're brain dead, you have to figure it out and recharge yourself because no one else is going to come in and pick up the slack for you. You have no choice but to get it done. And I think that's in the most simple terms that I can put it.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, and it's fair. That's the
very
reality
true.
of it. People don't realize, you know, there's a lot of struggle. And then you're the one who has to dig yourself out of that hole too. So it's like you're trying to juggle everything. It's not an easy balance. And there's the amazing moments, but again, there's always the struggles. Margaret, is yours kind of the same, or do you have some other things?
I mean, I totally feel you, Lexa. So lately, we've just been getting a lot of orders, and I have actually stepped out and to the back to help the girls instead of having to hire another body. I'm actually in the back working, just making sure everything is done on time. And all that. So not only I'm working in the back, you know, and then I'm checking emails, customer service. I'm also doing shipping, taking orders, checking social media. And it's hard. There's a lot of work. It's constantly. And if, you know, we're doing 1 week, we're doing something this way, it's like the next week it's changing.
Yeah.
And I might have to step up and help out more in another area. And then the other areas will have to wait. So there's a lot, and you know.
And I think we can probably, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm sure. I would always say, people say, well, what can I help you with? And literally my universal answer all the time is, figure out the cloning process. I need someone to sleep for me because I don't have time to sleep. And it's like, if I could just get a clone, so many of my problems would be solved, but they have not quite figured that out, and I'm getting a little impatient, to be honest.
I think, what it is, too, is that when you are a business owner, you don't clock out. Like, when I leave this office, and I have such a heavy workload and crazy to-do list all the time, and I leave this office, it doesn't stop there. The laptop's opening up at home. I'm going on answering everything until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Like, my mind carries that with me. I'm not like, my work's done, I clock out, and now I go live my life. Like, it just keeps going. There's no clocking out. 24/7, and not everyone is built for that.
That's true.
Everyone's definitely not built for that.
That's very true, and it does. It takes a definite personality and a drive, and then trying to just pay attention to, okay, there's a warning sign. I'm getting burnt out. I've experienced that in my 11 years as well, where I've said, I don't care how much is going on or how many opportunities. I've got to hit pause and just focus on what I'm doing, because otherwise I will just go down, and it's going to be a disaster because I need to get my mental and physical health on track too.
I think for me, I know I owned and operated a health and fitness facility, and I thought in the beginning, oh, this is going to be really exciting, and wow, I have this big facility that's got a daycare and tanning and all of these different things. And let me tell you, it was not one moment where it's like I almost didn't even feel like the owner. I knew I was the owner, but as soon as I had that responsibility of employees and payroll, and people assume like you don't have a boss, and I'm like, no, the government, the IFBB, the state, the liability insurance. You know what I mean? Even my employees, it's like people would see me and I'm in there cleaning the toilets. Like, why are you doing it? I'm like,
somebody's got to do it.
Right. So it's like 24 hours. It's not, we don't get a chance. You don't have the opportunity to go home and then the job's over with and I'm done. Versus a person that has a secure job, the security, they can complain and they can whine. And I truly asked myself, after this, what type of employee was I?
Sure.
You know?
Oh, that's great.
What type? Because you've got the ones that show up on time, but they're whiners. You've got the ones that, there's just so many types. So
managing people is another aspect of the business. So it's like, as you start out as a small company and it's like, grow, scale your business, expand. Everybody wants that, but with that, in some aspects, means requiring yourself to hire new employees. So then you take on the aspect of managing employees and managing people, and that is a handful.
A handful.
I mean, managing personalities, and people are quitting or not showing up, and it's like, then you introduce a whole other realm of issues. So it's like, you've got to think about, where is my company going? What are my goals? What can I handle, and what can my team handle? Before you add another person to the team and another person.
For me, winning the Miss Olympia, that was a piece of cake in comparison to me owning and operating that facility.
I agree.
It was a piece of cake.
I second that.
All I had to do was worry about me.
Got to look good on stage.
That's right.
That's it. So we know that you guys have amazing things that you're working on now and that's coming up. We got to know about it. So spill the beans. Share some of the new things that you guys have coming out, because you can't keep it all on the DL. You're on a podcast, for God's sakes. Share it, girls. So Alexa, let's start with you.
Well, thus far, we started the Olympian line, which is the shoes that I designed myself. And we launched with one style, because what people don't know is it is very, very, very expensive. And that's all I could afford. So we grew that out to the OG Olympian, which is the first, the Olympian Mule, then the iconic Olympian, which is completely covered in rhinestones.
Beautiful.
So I only had 3 Olympian styles. So right now, we are working on the restock of all 3. We're redesigning the iconic Olympians. They will be coming out with a strapless mule. Everyone keeps asking when you're going to have the strapless version. Good. So that's coming right now.
I was going to ask.
With with this restock, we have 2 new styles. I'm not going to disclose what they are yet, but we have 2 new Olympian styles that are launching in addition to the iconic mule. And I'm opening up a brand new mold. So this is what I'm super, super excited about. So this next Olympian style with a new mold is going to have a 4.5-inch heel, so it's slightly lower, and a 1-inch platform, which is higher.
Yeah.
And that combination is the most magical combination ever because it's not steep.
Yes.
So this one is going to be, it's so comfortable, you guys have no idea. And I'm working on and testing different uppers. So right now there's just kind of the traditional styles. I'm looking to do some different uppers to where it still feels secure, but we don't have that ankle strap. And I'm just trying to really kind of change and pivot what the norm is for the uppers.
That's exciting. Some cool
like
things.
fun.
I'm intrigued already. I'm like, okay, I need to get that and get that. And you guys also do accessories, bags, these amazing furry, blinged out slides, jewelry. So it's not just the shoes. You've expanded your empire to include so many other things. You guys got to check it out, especially with all these new announcements. And now, Margaret, what do you have in store?
So I created a new design for this year, and I actually called it the Toxic Burst. So pretty much it's a combination of 2 of my designs where I don't have one here, but like inside the triangle, it's a scatter, and then it fades out into the other ultimate design. So what it does is when you look at the design, it actually draws your eye up.
Yes.
And I feel like it's making a burst, and it's just looking so pretty. So
is it kind of like an ombre burst?
Kind of, but it's it's kind of like an ombre, but it's really blended.
Ooh,
it's really blended, so it's draws your eye up to you. So when you're looking at someone wearing it, it's your eyes are drawing up into them. And awesome. I launched it a couple months ago, and lately everyone's been ordering that design, so I'm really excited to see them all made in different colors. It's just really pretty. So I want to do spend some time to focus on more designs this year, and we're also doing the wellness bra tops for the wellness division. Oh, I do have one here. So these take a lot of work. But they're pretty. It's like a bra.
Gorgeous. I love that red.
Very nice. It is red.
So this is hand done. We have to actually have to hand stone this because it just
is
not flat. So
do you have to be a wellness competitor to wear that? Because now I kind of want one. I don't know where I'd wear it, but
oh my God! So I want someone to order this in a champagne color.
Oh, champagne! Girl, you know,
right?
You know that's my color.
Yes,
Come on. Do I have to do wellness to do that? Because
oh my God, that would be
pretty.
Right?
So
Victoria's Secret,
that's what I was thinking.
Stunning.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I love it. Now,
can someone
Margaret,
order that, please?
what color is every year? There's always the most popular color in bikinis. So last year, what was the most popular color, and what is trending to be the most popular this year?
Well, I feel like last year a lot of reds and blues and greens, and this year I feel like it's still the same, but a lot of red. A lot of red. So I'm trying to create different red suits with a different look. That's why I came out with the Toxic Burst design. Because it is a little bit different. I don't want everyone to be the same.
But with that amazing red, that was pretty. So I'm sure you're going to be getting a lot of orders for the red. It's too gorgeous not to.
Yeah. So, and you want to stay with the gem tones, like the reds, the blues, and the greens, because it's safer. But I am noticing a lot of reds.
Always good to know. Wow. Well, this has been an amazing episode. You two are incredible at your craft. And I think it's just amazing what you've accomplished in such a short period of time, really. I mean, 5 to 6 years is the standard for starting a business and kind of getting your feet under you. But you guys surpassed that, sounds like, in the first year or two, and now you're just exploding. So happy to hear about the success. And even more appreciate that you shared some of the new things that you guys have coming out. But this has been fun.
Yeah,
as
it's really
female
fun. I hear your
entrepreneurs.
energy. I was just sitting here like salivating, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Really, really, truly. Congratulations.
thank you, ladies, so
and I'm
much.
so proud of
you.
you. So proud of you for your accomplishments.
Thank you.
you.
I can't wait to come out to Arizona next month.
Yes, they're coming
I'll
out.
be here.
Yes.
Alexa's
Yes.
coming too.
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be a big party. So stay tuned for that too, people, on
That's
Instagram,
right.
because you're going to see a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's just the way everyone rolls, right?
When we finally meet in person.
I know.
We
I have
will.
not met either of them in person,
Really?
which is so
Wow.
crazy. I
Yeah,
know.
we just had a guest
so
and she was
excited.
talking about your products. So I
Yes.
was like, they didn't know you were coming on.
Yeah, you guys, both your names come up a lot. So you're doing right in the industry.
Yes, it.
Yes.
Rocking and
you.
roll. Rock stars.
Well, thank you guys
you.
so much, Margaret, Alexa, for joining us. Congrats on all your success, and stay tuned for more. But this is a wrap for our episode of FemFlex Friday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.